I'm Trista Keaton, and you're watching The Source. The Source for the next couple of weeks will be following the university's budget cuts and finding the effects in different departments. This week, we will be looking at DePauw Theater and how budget cuts have shifted their production and overall student involvement. We also have a feature on the new D3 TV podcast and their process. It is no surprise to students that DePauw University is cutting budgets. The theater department historically has always been the first to get cut within universities or high school budgets. Creative endeavors and productions are seen as unnecessary costs for the university due to its lack of revenue. It costs a lot more to produce a show than the money made back from audiences. The pandemic severely hit the theater arts, a feat they are still trying to recover from. We talked to Caroline Good, a professor and director of upcoming production Romeo and Juliet, about how budget cuts are affecting production.
We have less money to work with, to buy fabric, to buy patterns, to order things. For Adam's Family, for instance, we have a time crunch, so you can't always have everything cheap and fast and good. So you got to do two of the three to make them. And when you order things, oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes you're going to be spending more. So that's been a bit of a challenge. And you just can't go to the internet and just say, I want this in this color and bing, in this size. It takes a lot more time. So that's been a challenge. And Juliet too, I, as a director and running the costume shop, Chi Nguyen is our costume designer. So she also beautifully designed costumes for Seagull, and working with the budget, she's learning how to do that. But as a director for Romeo and Juliet at Bridgerton, and Bridgerton is opulence. It's beautiful fabrics and rich fabrics, and we may have to honestly cut the size of the cast because we can't afford to costume the amount of people that we could give opportunities to be in the shows. On the positive side, you do have people going into theaters that do have a strict budget and not a lot of money to work with. So that is a good learning experience. But on the other hand, it would be nice if, at least one point in their career at DePauw, they could have a show where they, can design.
In a dynamic move to broaden its content offerings, D3 TV has unveiled its latest venture, podcasting, with a keen focus on diversifying its platform. The streaming channel is set to bring a wealth of fresh and engaging audio content to its audience. Kiwi Moran, the current director of podcast programming, recently discussed the upcoming lineup for this year's shows.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this season of Eye of the Tiger.
For those interested in exploring these podcasts or potentially becoming a part of this exciting venture, email Kiwi at KaylaMoran_2024. We now move into the War Room, a segment of The Source, with PAC student and researcher Jake Wood.
Thanks, Trista. Welcome to the War Room, where our first story takes place in North Korea. Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un will travel to Russia this month to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin, according to U.S. officials. They claim that Kim intends to discuss the possibility of North Korea providing the Russian military with weapons that are to be used in the ongoing war in Ukraine. North Korea has historically been a partner of Russia, and in the past the country has been accused of supporting Russia's war effort, but this is the first time both countries' leaders are to meet and discuss the issue. U.S. and South Korean sources also claim that there has been an uptick in joint military exercises between Russia and North Korea, with the Russian Navy reportedly drilling with the North Korean Navy. The threat of Russia acquiring more weapons to use in its unprovoked invasion is certainly dangerous. Much of North Korea's stockpile is old or under-maintained, so how beneficial a possible exchange will be to Russia's war effort remains in the air. In other Ukraine-related news, an explosion struck the village of Kostiantynivka, killing 17 people and injuring over 30. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky blamed Russia for the attack. No claim of responsibility was given by Russia, but the attack matches a pattern of Russian missile strikes targeting civilians that has been seen throughout the conflict. The village, which is close to the front lines, has been attacked on 3 other occasions this year by the Russian military. This strike is yet another example of Russian war crimes in Ukraine as the conflict enters into a new phase of attrition rather than large-scale frontline movements. This has been The Source. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow us on all social media at D3TV to tune in to the real news.